UK's Methodist Church allows same-sex marriage and bans conversion therapy. So I thought this was interesting because I have to monitor the headlines for the news that we pick. And I've been seeing these developments, and I wanted to kind of cover two topics in one story. There's been a lot going on with the Methodist Church. In a conference held on June 24th to July 1st, the Methodist Church, the second largest Christian church in the UK, voted to allow same-sex marriage, defining marriage as between two people. The church also voted to ban all forms of conversion therapy. A provision was added allowing any officials not to perform a same-sex marriage if it's, quote, contrary to the dictates of his or her conscience to do so. Basically, they allowed an exemption, so ministers don't have to bless same-sex marriages. In this memorandum, the church calls unto its members to refuse to participate in an offering of conversion therapy in any form. So they've also banned conversion therapy. After years of struggle in the LGBT community, these two major milestones mark a significant change in the culture of the Methodist Church.
Can I reread that title for you?
Let's do it, because this is why we're covering it.
All right, so the title should have been UK Methodist Church continued to allow conversion therapy all the way to 2021 and had continued to ban same-sex marriage all the way to 2021. And they have started to become less horrible by a bit, like they have caught up with the rest of humanity on some issues only now, and they don't deserve congratulations because they are way behind, right? So I don't know. At the same time, I want to be pragmatic about this thing. If people say that you need to like clap for them so that encourage other people to do this, right? So I understand, you know what I mean? If you want to be fair, then screw these guys for taking this long to catch up with the rest of us. But if you want to be pragmatic because you want to encourage more people doing the same, then I guess, yay. Yeah, go on.
I will clap because this is only the result of decades of activism from LGBT activists, that they have pushed the culture of the United Kingdom so far that even the second largest religious Christian denomination in the country has to acknowledge the legitimacy of their unions out of the fact that it's now a moral issue that will become a marketing issue if they don't fix this soon. That's how I see it.
Yes, those are the actual people. These people have been forced to these positions by activists. It's the activists that deserve it. Don't clap for the Methodist Church. Clap for the activists very good point by Susie. Very, very good point. Clap for the people that drag these people kicking and screaming to this position. That's perfect. Yes.
It's the same thing with secularism and taking these churches are only forced into better positions because it's reached a tipping point within any given culture. They wouldn't have been moved to do these things otherwise. Right? It's why Armin talks about like religions aren't reforming. They're forced into these positions because they're losing. And they're losing and they have to adapt.
I want to address this, my go ahead, Atheist, without reading it because we might get in trouble with YouTube if I read it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that thing that you're saying, it's not happening. That's not happening. Blockers are the thing that happens, and they are done with a lot of provision, a lot of research, with a lot of oversight. But what you're describing, it's just conservative fear mongering. Rivka, did you want to mention anything about this? Okay, good.
No, I mean it's all been said.
Okay. Susie, you want to read some
I
comments?
also
Yeah.
want to say that although we have our own reasons for disagreeing with aspects of this, I do think it is a positive, it's a good signal in general, like that we have less opposition in many ways to LGBT rights. So I think that's a very good thing. Like, you know, the religious right, like, I don't know how right wing the Methodist Church is, but just as an example, like, we want them to even take up positions that we support as well. Like, a majority of Republicans in the US now support same sex marriage, right? Like, even though we don't, like we've said before, that we don't like when, say, there's a transgender bishop, because it's like actually legitimizing religious institutions, and they're trying to use the LGBT community to give them legitimacy or regain legitimacy or relevancy. I think this does generally signal a great change in attitude that will hopefully be replicated elsewhere, even though we have our own disagreements with aspects of it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I also think it's important to think about, some people really like religion, they derive comfort from it, the socialization, the community. So if you have an organization, whatever that is, whether it's this case it's religious, that the people who want to be involved in it feel welcome, and then can move that organization forward in terms of its thinking, which is what you said, then I think, sure. It seems like it has good aspects. It shows that they're feeling irrelevant, so they need to, pick up their game, and then it makes people feel more welcome. And then your point about now we have other people who are also allies in these particular arenas.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for the people in the live chat that are losing their mind, I completely support hormone blockers for children who have been, gone through enough evaluations for the expert to decide that because they're children and they don't get to choose, to delay the process of puberty, so that they get to make the decision later without having to let their body without making biology and their hormones force the gender on them. You delay the process, so when they're adults, they get to pick the gender they want themselves. So what you guys are describing in the live chat is not how it happens. It's, I'm sure there are rare examples of things that go wrong, which is the same thing with all things medical related, but the numbers are the benefit from delaying the process of puberty for the kids that need it is far outweighs the far and few between harms that you guys just jump on for your own ideology. So yeah, I'm in complete support of puberty blockers, and that it's for the sake of And
I'm like, why did you even have to highlight that comment? Everyone's gonna lose their mind.
Bring it.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.